Towerstream delivers high-speed backhaul or last-mile services to enterprise customers nationwide. With our rooftop assets, we're actually wholesaling a shared resource that they can rent from us, much less expensive than they can do themselves. Being able to have a technology that's a carrier-class outdoor network is really what Towerstream needed to be able to actually launch this new wholesale program. Until this technology was available, you couldn't actually sell this shared resource to carriers in the way that we're doing it now. What we're doing with our rooftops right now is we're currently offering our Wi-Fi services. We have some of the providers that we're working with on our hardware side, we're working with Ruckus Wireless right now, and we actually have ways to bolt on femto or what they call metro cells onto the back of our units, or just to have them on a standalone basis right next to the Wi-Fi units to get best of breed on both. You know, we've heard enough about the mobile tsunami, but we haven't heard enough about the solutions for that. And what's going to happen is really super hyper densification, they're calling it, of the network. Capacity is the big issue right now.
Given the environment, we look to really focus our Wi-Fi beams to where we want them to go. Traditionally, Wi-Fi is just this kind of a omni, if you will, type antenna where the signal propagates in 360 degrees in a full circle. In our type of dense environments, we really want to focus those beams similar to how a flashlight will focus on, you know, a target. So we're taking our Wi-Fi APs and we're focusing them on certain areas at 60 degrees or 120 degrees. Not only does it maximize coverage and give better performance, but it also enables us to add a higher amount of users to a particular hotspot.
Wi-Fi is the cheapest way to move a bit on a network. As the networks become hyperdense and you get much smaller cells, you want to keep that cost low for the carriers. And the way you do that is just like the traditional tower companies like American Tower, Crown Castle, is you offer a shared resource that you can sell to the carriers cheaper than they can do themselves. That's how their businesses exist. So with Wi-Fi, it's actually a great solution for that. You can sell the same antenna to multiple carriers, and they can have their own separate solution that doesn't touch the other people on that antenna. So they're getting a true shared solution at a much lower cost. Everyone thought the 4G networks were going to be the silver bullet and you don't need anything else. Well, that thought process has really gone at the carriers because you've got voice revenues, which are kind of slowing down, if not starting to go away, like long distance, and they're very high margin. And then you have data revenue, which is going through the roof, and the margins aren't as good. So if you're a carrier, you have a huge problem coming on your margins. If you can utilize Wi-Fi offload or any Wi-Fi product, your margins, it's such a much less expensive technology, you can actually help bring those margins back. So by using Wi-Fi offload, not only do you increase your margins, you're also saving your spectrum. So you're saving billions of dollars there and millions of dollars on just offloading. So it's a tool that I think that you'll see everyone utilize more and more. The RF portion was number one. How do we get from an antenna on a rooftop to a user with a handset or a tablet and offer the same performance as an LTE network, if not better, which we're seeing a lot of now. The most important thing for us was to have a technology that could overcome this very tough noise floor to deliver services that are just as good as what the carriers are seeing right now on their 4G networks. And to come here and to overcome that and deliver the type of service that we've been able to deliver was very important for us. And we think we've performed that by using Ruckus technology.
By focusing the beams and using various technologies such as beamforming and adaptive antennas, what that does is it mitigates how much interference we're creating amongst ourselves. So for example, if we had several antennas close to each other all radiating out at full power 360 degrees, it would have a detrimental performance characteristic to the end user. But by focusing on where the end users are, we found performance to be 10 and 15x of what it would if we didn't have that technology.
And now we're taking that to other markets where there's just as much usage, but the noise floor is high, and the network's just performing over the top. Anywhere from 15 to we've seen as high as 60 megs on a handset, or 57 megabits per second on a handset. You bring out a tablet or a notebook computer and you can get closer to 90 megabits of performance. This is like a fiber network. The return on investment on Wi-Fi is much less than your traditional tower and much less, significantly less than a DAS node, because DAS is very expensive because of the fiber that you have to do there. What's interesting about a node, a Wi-Fi node, is you don't need nearly as much revenue because their devices are smaller and typically the rents are less, to produce the same amount of node cash flow as a DAS unit. So now you've got Wi-Fi in a carrier class mode, which is very exciting when you think about it.